Hello everyone, my name is Lexington Young, and today I'm going to be giving my persuasive speech over the plastic epidemic and how plastic is playing its part in destroying our planet. In the first decade of this century, we have created more plastic than what we have in the past 100 years, negatively affecting wildlife habitats and the well-being of marine life. I have always been interested in meeting the needs and to help save and support the environment and those things that support its well-being. Through the years of doing personal research and supporting the areas I find interesting, I have grown more and more interested and have dug further into environmental research. I believe we must come together to diminish the use of plastic in our daily lives to get rid of most of the plastic problems in our environment. And mainly our oceans to ensure the prolongment of our wildlife and to guarantee our future in this world. According to the Center of Biological Diversity, every year billions of pounds or more of plastic end up in the world's oceans. Studies estimate there are around 15 to 51 trillion pieces of plastic in the world's oceans. By the year 2050, it is predicted that the total amount of mass of marine wildlife will be equivalent to the total amount of mass of plastic in the world's oceans. For an illustration, with plastic littering and the habitats in the ocean, high percentages of birds and marine life ingest these pieces of plastic, including fish, sea turtles, whales, and seabirds. This can choke, entangle, and drown, even starve the animal by fooling it to think that it is full. One main factor that is a serious problem would be the giant plastic island in our North Pacific Ocean. It is roughly around 600,000 square miles, which is about the size of two Texases, or twice the size of Texas. According to the Brightside channel on YouTube, approximately 1 trillion single-use bags are used every year. In 2016, people bought around 480 billion plastic bottles. Each day, 500,000 straws are used, and 500 billion plastic cups are used annually, with 14 million tons of styrofoam manufactured every year. I believe while we have time, we should come together to stop using the vigorous amounts of plastic that we use in our everyday lives and find alternative solutions to our everyday needs. Some of the basic principles we learned in elementary can be the first step to the solution. By reducing the use of plastic in our daily lives, such as bottles, containers, wrappers, etc., we would limit the output of plastic that we are throwing away, thus decreasing the amount of plastic that ends up in the environment. An article in the Science Academic Journal over plastic pollution states we can calculate that 275 million metric tons of plastic waste was generated in 192 coastal countries in 2010, with 4.8 to 12.7 metric tons entering the ocean. Population size and the quality of waste management systems largely determine which countries contribute to the greatest mass of uncaptured waste available to become plastic marine debris. By reusing things like plastic bottles for water, we could all save money. Not only will cutting back on plastic help get rid of this footprint in our world's oceans, it can create a better aesthetic, but also it will help save the lives of the hundreds and thousands of marine wildlife and birds who get affected by the plastic's horrible and negative effects. Getting rid of things such as the harmful chemicals in plastic can eliminate the chance of human consumption. For example, a fish who consumes the plastic could later be caught by fishermen and for human consumption to be ate. As we keep a positive outlook on this scary problem, we can do just as much individually by taking necessary action. Some demonstrations we can see, for example, San Diego has put a banned use for all styrofoam. Styrofoam contains polyester. It's the largest West Coast city to do so yet. Washington, D.C. has declared a ban on straws for all participating restaurants and public food chains. Many companies have switched to reusable straws, such as like metal straws, paper straws, or grass straws. Companies such as Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Danone, Unilever, and Dow have all invested in a total of $90 million to garbage collection and sanitation methods. As a visualization, getting rid of pollution will make our oceans look better and swimmable in certain areas and save the thousands of lives of marine wildlife. We can take action by using the 4 R's in our everyday life: refusing, reusing, reducing, and recycling. Refusing as much plastic as possible. Only use single-use plastic when it's necessary. Reduce the amount of plastic you use. Reuse if at all possible. Reuse any plastic you can. And recycle any single-use plastic to eliminate its future and possibility of being in the environment as trash. And finally, this is planet Earth, and it is our home. We must treat it as such to ensure a future not only for us, but for the future generations to come. And on that note, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed.